Today I'm going to tell you about summarising. So summarising is an important skill that we use when we are reading. You can use it while you're reading or after you've read a whole article or even a book. So summarising is basically being able to understand and also tell someone else the main points of what you have read. So if you can do this, it helps you comprehend what you're reading. So summarising is used in lots of different areas. You can summarise an argument or a science report. I'm sure you've done some of those. And you can use it to recommend a good book or the best film you've ever seen. So if we didn't use summarising, it would take so long to tell someone why they should watch, for instance, How to Train Your Dragon 2. It would take so much longer. So summarising effectively will help you tell people stories without them getting bored. So this is important, right? So I've made you some tips on how to summarise when you're reading. So number one is see the big picture. So this means that when you are reading a text, and especially when you are summarising it, be careful not to include all the tiny details. Instead, focus on the overall storyline and try to pick out what the most important parts of the text are. Another point is to take notes. So when you're reading to yourself, take notes on the side. This can be anything from making a quick sketch, some pictures, writing words or sentences down to help you remember what the story is about or the article is about. A good way to do this is writing down dot points. So this is just a quick idea of what you're reading. So I'm going to read a story and show you how to summarise it. There was once upon a time a king who had 3 sons, of whom 2 were clever and wise, but the third did not speak much, and was simple, and was called the simpleton. When the king had become old and weak, and was thinking of his end, he did not know which of his sons should inherit the kingdom after him. Then he said to them, "Go forth, and he who brings me the most beautiful carpet shall be king after my death." So what have we got here? We've got a king, and he has 3 sons, and 2 of the sons are smart, and one of them isn't so smart. He's simple, so he doesn't talk much. Let's read on. And that there should be no dispute amongst them, he took them outside his castle, blew 3 feathers into the air, and said, "You shall go as they fly." One feather flew to the east, the other to the west, but the third flew straight up and did not fly far, but soon fell to the ground. Now one brother went to the right, the other went to the left, and there they mocked the simpleton, who was forced to stay where the third feather had fallen. He sat down and was sad. But then all at once he saw that there was a trapdoor close by to the feather. He raised it up, found some steps, and went down them. So what's happened here? So the 3 brothers have been sent on an adventure by their father, and the one who is successful will be king of the whole empire. So what happened next? So he came to the trapdoor, and he knocked at it and heard somebody inside calling, "Little green waiting maid with the limping leg, little dog of the limping leg, hop hither and thither, and quickly see who is without." The door opened, and he saw a great fat toad sitting, and round about her a crowd of little toads. So the fat toad asked what he wanted. He answered, "I should like to have the prettiest and finest carpet in the world." Then she called the young one and said, "Little green waiting maid with the limping leg, little dog of the limping leg, hop hither and thither and bring me the great box." So the young toad brought the box, and the fat toad opened it and gave the simpleton a carpet out of it. It was so beautiful and fine that on the earth above no one could have woven something like it. Then he thanked her and climbed out again. So what's happened here so far? The two smart brothers have gone looking for the carpet, and then the simpleton has to stay, and he's found in a magical trapdoor someone who can give him a really good carpet. So by summarising this whole story, we can think about what predictions we would make. So my prediction would be that this simple brother is going to find a much better carpet and maybe even become king, even though his two wise brothers, or smart brothers, have gone off and found a carpet. So let's read on to the end of the story. So the two other brothers had looked onto their youngest brother as so silly that they believed he could find nothing at all. Why should we give ourselves a great deal of trouble searching, they said. And so they got some coarse handkerchiefs from the first shepherd's wives whom they met and carried them home to the king. Okay, I'm going to stop there with the story. So what we found here, that the two older brothers, they didn't even try because they underestimated what their younger brother would be able to do. So hopefully here you've been able to see a few ways on how to summarise a story. So we can make notes, we can stop and think while we're reading. So we can make predictions and summarise what has happened so far while we're reading to help us understand the story.